Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. Hope you're doing well. So today is the 20th. That's right, the 20th anniversary of Van Helsing. Now, this was directed by Stephen Sommers, who at the time was just coming off of The Mummy and The Mummy Returns with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. No, I'm a fan of the Mummy movies, especially the first one. It also going to have its 25th anniversary this month. And so I was looking forward to Van Helsing for that reason. This movie stars Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, David Wenham, Richard Roxburgh. It deals with Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. I still remember seeing the trailer back in 2004 during the Super Bowl. That's when they actually had like a full-length trailer for a movie, not like this 30-second, here, watch 15 seconds, then go on the internet and watch the full trailer. No, they would actually premiere the full trailer during the Super Bowl. And I remember being like, oh, it looked really cool. Well, then you got Hugh Jackman, who was just, becoming very, very, very popular with the first and second X-Men movie as Wolverine. So, and Kate Beckinsale was just coming off of the first Underworld in 2003. So, there was a lot of hype for this movie. I remember going to see it in the theater. And I enjoyed it at the time. I still enjoy it 20 years later. I think it does have some issues. But overall, I still enjoy watching this every October during the month of Halloween. And I think that was the main problem why this movie never got a sequel. They did want to do a franchise, kind of like The Mummy. I think they could have actually probably combine those two eventually. That's what they probably should have done. Done Van Helsing and The Mummy. Since he hasn't fought The Mummy yet in the first Van Helsing movie, they should have really had Brendan Fraser and Hugh Jackman fighting The Mummy for like a third Mummy film. That could have been interesting. It helped that it came out in the summer. Like I said, it started the summer movie season in 2004. And, I don't think people were that interested in going to see a horror movie. Not really that. There are some horror elements, but it's more of an action film. But it is, you're dealing with Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein. That's more kind of like a vampire hunter in Van Helsing. That doesn't scream summer. You know what I mean? It screams Halloween, October, the fall, but not, summer movie season. So I think that's what hurt it. Not to mention, you gotta remember back in May of '04, you had Van Helsing, you had Shrek 2 coming out that May, I think like the following week. That coming on with the first Shrek movie, huge movie. You have The Day After Tomorrow coming out with Jake Gyllenhaal and Emmy Rossum and Dennis Quaid. A film directed by Roland Emmerich, which I think at that point he hadn't done a disaster movie since Independence Day. So that was getting a lot of hype. You had those type of movies coming out that scream summer movie, like a Shrek, like A Day After Tomorrow. I think Hugh Jackman is great in here as Van Helsing. Oh Gabriel, oh Gabriel. I think he works in the role. He can still bring that charm, but he also shows he can be serious badass when he needs to be. I thought he had pretty good chemistry with Kate Beckinsale in the movie. Kate Beckinsale played Anna Valerio. And like I said, Kate Beckinsale was coming off of Underworld, which also I think the Underworld didn't perform that well at the box office. People thought, oh, is this just another Underworld movie? You got Kate Beckinsale, vampires, werewolves. I thought she did good. I like the opening, the first 10 minutes. Very classic 1940s monster movies, all black and white. I like that look of it. It brought you right into the movie, paying a homage to those 40s monster movies. I also like the werewolf. When the person changes into the werewolf, I like the look and the design, very big, monster-like. And then also, even though it's in CGI, when the person changes into the werewolf, you definitely see a lot of the American Werewolf in London. Werewolf changing, homages in Van Helsing. I like the ending with, I like the first main action scene with the Dracula's bride. Wow. That was a nice, cool introduction for Van Helsing in Transylvania. I thought David Wenham was kind of like Van Helsing's partner, assistant. David Wenham was just coming off of Lord of the Rings, where he played Boromir's brother, in The Two Towers and then The Return of the King. It was a very different role for him. I mean, in Lord of the Rings, he was very confident, strong. And then this one, he's like this little weird pervert monk. I thought he was really funny throughout the movie. I think you also got the great battle sequence in the end, or fight sequence, which finally we get to see Dracula in full vampire look, and then we see Hugh Jackman turn into a werewolf, and that fight sequence was, to me, awesome. I like the design of Dracula in this movie. I wish that was a lot longer. I think that was the other problem, is we don't have that much of Dracula and a werewolf fighting, only in the third act, in the third final battle fight sequence, and it didn't last that long. I think they should have had more of that earlier in the movie, and then another one at the end. I also love the sequence of the moon, full moon, and the werewolf Hugh Jackman holding Kate Beckinsale as the moon's starting to fade and he transforms back into a human. Very classic, like the monster movie. I also like the masquerade ball at the end of the second act. I love the scene in the mirror where you don't see Dracula's reflection, because you can't see vampire's reflection, but you see Kate Beckinsale dancing, like all by herself. I thought that was really creative and well done. There's also I think there's stuff like, it's almost 20 minutes in the movie until we see Kate Beckinsale. We have like a whole 10-minute sequence of when we are first introduced to Van Helsing, with him going after Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Very poor CGI, even though it was voiced by Robbie Coltrane, aka Rubeus Hagrid from the Harry Potter movies. But I think that was one of the problems with this movie, was the CGI. They heavily revolved around CGI in this movie rather than practical makeup. And like I said, I think the CGI did not, especially coming off of like the Lord of the Rings, the CGI did not look good even in 2004. I remember seeing the movie and the CGI looks like The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. But the difference is, The Mummy came out by that point 5 years ago, and even The Mummy Returns was over 3 years ago. You would have thought the CGI would have improved between The Mummy 1 and The Mummy 2 to Van Helsing. Also, like, a lot of people don't realize that Igor, yes, master, that's actually the same actor as Benny in The Mummy, the first Mummy movie. Hey, O'Connor! It looks like I got all the horses. Hey, Benny! It looks like you're on the wrong side of the river. Yeah, that dumbass. Well, I enjoy this film. I enjoy watching it every Halloween. It's a good. I enjoy seeing the vampire, werewolf, Frankenstein all in one movie. I know that Universal was planning to do a franchise, but this movie didn't make the mummy. Not the mummy. The money. The money. The money it wanted to spawn more sequels. I really do think the next one would have had the mummy, and it would have been cool if they did combine Brendan Fraser's Mummy with Van Helsing. That could have been an interesting movie. Overall, I still enjoy watching it. I like Hugh Jackman in the role. I like Kate Beckinsale in the role. And yeah, are you a fan of Van Helsing? Did you watch this back in 2004 when it came out? Is this something you like to watch in October during the month of Halloween? Let me know in the comments below. Today is the 20th anniversary, so it might be a good time to go back and watch it. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, Matt the Bat.